Or just people. I know. I'm 20 seconds early. Woohoo! Because I just love you so much. And so, we get to take 20 seconds to be like, hey, come on. It's time, people. Come and see us at the Celtic Rain Radio Show. Just saying. Mr. Little Kaylee Rain is here with the doctors. She's ready to party hardy and with some gorgeous music. And, you guys did know that Doctor Who started on Sunday. Just saying. Yeah, there's limited, I want more, but still, who doesn't want more of Doctor Who? And so, dude, I am so giving free advertisement here, but still, you have to, come on, you gotta go and see. It's beautiful. At the same time, you have to come see us. So, what is the Celtic Rain Radio Show, you say? Well, let me tell you what it is. It is a beautiful place where people who are small label or independent artists can have their music played. It has to be family friendly, meaning don't be mean. It's just not nice. All right? I want the whole family to be able to enjoy this situation. So come on over. If you are an artist who is a small label or independent artist and your stuff is not, mean, then you should totally send me your MP3s. Don't send me Bandcamp. They don't like me. I'm just going to put that one out there. All right. Send MP3s to CelticRain777 at gmail.com. CelticRain777 at gmail.com. And believe me, I play all genres of music. All of it. All of it. It's so beautiful. It's like music candy. You got all sorts of different flavors. And the good stuff, well, there's all the good stuff, right? It's all the good stuff. It's like mixing chocolate with sweet tarts. Pretty sure that would be amazing. Just gonna put that one out there. Anyways, so if you are not on the YouTube channel, we are recording live on YouTube right now. It is www. Look at me. All those W's, the 3 W's. I'll just put that one out there. And then .youtube.com/C for channel /Celtic Rain. That's right, like rain out of the sky. And it's not, okay, so I want to teach everybody in America something. You ready for this? Celtic with a hard C. Celtic is everything that's Celtic. Celtic only has to do with sports. We're going to put that one out there. Okay, so we all know, because we're going to say Celtic a lot during the show, because our person that we're interviewing is a beautiful, beautiful lady named Erin, who started the Celtic Nations magazine and the Celtic Nations radio station. So just so you know, we're going to say Celtic a lot. Celtic is everything except for what? That's right, except for sports. So we all know this now. We've all been understood. It's all over there. So when you want to go subscribe, right, to the YouTube channel, subscribe to youtube.com/C for channel /Celtic Rain. Celtic Rain. Thank you. Like rain out of the sky. We are the Celtic Rain Radio Show, and I cannot wait for you to hear this music we're going to have. Guess what, guys? I know you're going to be very surprised that if I get all of these correctly, and I'm not going to. I'm going to say something wrong because it's my brain, and my brain is funny. So there you go. But I actually sat down with the paper and practiced the names of these people and the names of the song. Which the first one, if I don't get it right, then someone actually has the ability to come and just smack me in the head. But there you go. Scotland the Brave by Celtic Rain, which is my band. That's right. And then we're going to listen to Black Cat by Cynics 4. Very rock 80s twist, but you guys have heard them before. They're really, really fun. And then we have a little bit of some thrash heavy metal. If they're going to be like, that's not thrash metal. Okay, if you just tell me what it is, because I have my own distinctions, and if it goes, whoa, 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 then to me it's thrash metal. So I'm so sorry. I'm probably wrong. But we're going to listen to Dead Man by the Mothman Curse. I love that name. I love that name just because I like the Mothman. It's so funny. It's just funny. Okay, well, whatever. You understand what I'm talking about. But, it's a great name for a band, right? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So one day, maybe I'll get to be in the Mothman curse. Anyways, so here we go. Let's get some music on.
Black cat, she's the queen of my club. Black cat is the queen of my club. Black cat needs a rub and tub. Black cat, it's up my garbage. Black cat is looking for marriage. Some things I just can't stand. Come and join her darkness. Cat size, watch the moonlight up. Cat size, time to make things pop. Cat size, hypnotic to the stars. Cat size, should be owned by the czar. Some things I just can't stand. Come and join her darkness. Can't stand. Come and join her darkness. Cat claws will tear the skin from your face. Cat claws grabs the soul with no grace. Cat claws will catch and tease its prey. Cat claws, some used to make ashtrays. Some things I just can't stand. Come and join her darkness. Her darkness. Her darkness. Just
So I did not realize that it had some words in it that it didn't have on. So that's a good lesson to learn, right? So we don't use those kind of words. So I'm just going to stop that one right here. But they have other songs that don't have a lot of cursing in it, and I did not catch that one because sometimes life happens. So we're just going to go on to our next beautiful situation so that we can have the most amazing show ever. So let's just go on. And I'm so excited actually because my guest tonight is so much fun. I am a part of her group, and I believe that it's kind of like a little family. And so I'm very excited for you guys to meet Miss Erin. Hey, how you doing?
Hello. Thank you for having me. Thank you so very much.
Thank you for coming. I'm so excited about this. And I have been getting to know you over the last couple months. Well, it's been like what? Well, it's been a little while now.
We've had the magazine for over a year now. Can you believe it's been a year?
That's crazy. Mm-hmm. I know we've been in 2 of them now, so we've been at least within that period, which is pretty awesome. So tell us about the magazine itself.
Well, everybody, I am a Celtic artist. I've spent a living doing that, 12 years on the road, going from Renaissance Fair to Renaissance Fair, and COVID, so, no shows. So last year, about October, I thought, I'm going to start a magazine. And lo and behold, we came up with Celtic Nations Magazine.
Nice.
I decided to do all things Celtic and a few things weird. And so Celtic Nations Magazine is what came of it. There's another Celtic magazine in print. It's called Celtic Life. It's a beautiful magazine. But as you know, yes, it is a family of writers. And the writers give me the most amazing articles. I will pick a topic. We come out 4 times a year. And we started with Celtic Yule. And then I went on to Celtic Whispers. Then June was Celtic Wandering. And September, where you were our featured musician, was Celtic Harvest. And everybody just starts noodling. We have a little group on Facebook where they will just get back to me with some of the most amazing things. So the December issue is Celtic Myths and Legends. And the writers did not disappoint.
They never do. We never do.
No, you don't.
Yeah. And I've had so much fun. Really the first one was, writing about us anyways, but then the second one, writing about the song that I wrote, and just really the understanding and the history, for me at least, it did something for me at least, that it really pulled out that, let me really think deeply about this song that I wrote and why. And I'm not going to lie, there are times I teared up while I was writing, because I was just like, this is so much me and my history and putting myself out there, which you do with songs. But when you do them with songs, it's a little different, because it's like you can cover it up with these beautiful tunes and all the instruments, and you kind of hide behind the music of it, whereas when you're writing, it's raw, it's
all out there. And to explain to
there.
everybody how your article came about. So for our September issue, I profile an artist and a musical group, musician or a band, in every single issue of Celtic Nations magazine. And so you were our featured interview as a musician. But Celtic Myths and Legends, I put this out to the group because you had told me in your last interview that you did a song that was inspired by your mother. And I reached out to you as part of the group, and I said, well, that's a Celtic legend. It's a personal one, but that qualifies because Celtic legends doesn't just have to be mythology. We all know that there's quite a lot of that, but I find readers like to understand on a personal level. That's what makes a really good magazine, is when my contributors offer something from the heart. And the readers can just get into it, because it's not an article you read and then, toss on your coffee table. That's the kind of article people want to read it again, maybe even a third time, because it moves them emotionally. And I'm so glad you opened up and offered that, because, I haven't typeset it yet. I'm November is when I actually assemble the book of the magazine. And I will be getting to that very soon. I'll be talking about an upcoming event later in our interview. But yeah,
Nice.
I'm so glad you offered that.
Yes. Yeah, it was definite. So for me, it was definitely something that definitely hit my heart. So tell us about some of your writers.
Well, let's see. One of my favorites is a gentleman from Austin, Texas. His name's Garrett McGee. And he writes as though he's a first century Roman sending dispatches back to Caesar about those crazy Celts.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
it's just so much fun and humorous. Another of my favorite writers, gosh, there's so many. I hope I'm not going to leave anybody out. But one wonderful woman, Erin Newell, and Niwl, and Erin, forgive me if I'm mispronouncing your last name, because we haven't had a chance to chat. She is a wealth of Welsh knowledge. When people think Celtic, they just think
Ooh.
Irish and Scottish, but that's not true. You have Wales, the Isle of Man, Cornwall, and then on the continent, you
Yes.
also have Galicia and Brittany, 7 Celtic nations. And so I would like more Cornish stories or more if I can get them from the Isle of Man. But she is my go-to person for anything Welsh. And then another wonderful
Nice.
contributor is a lady, she's in her 80s, Alison McRae. She's up in Nova Scotia. And when she first submitted to me, okay, yes, her grammar definitely needed work. And she was very self-conscious about it. And I said, Allison, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the ability to tell a story, which she is amazing at. So grammar is just mechanics. Anybody can learn
Yes.
grammar. And I'm an editor. I will help you edit the grammar. But it's the
Exactly.
heart of the story. And she'll write very short stories. So I usually will start the issue with one of her stories because it helps sets a mood.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Samuel, he is a little biased. A little bit. He's my husband.
Just a little.
He says that's beautiful, and I agree. That's a beautiful understanding. People can go to your website, which is CelticNationsMagazine.com, and find out more. Correct? Because it's not. There is a hard copy, but then there's so much more of a wealth of understanding
here's
on the
spring.
website itself too.
Well,
So,
I designed the website because I knew when I published a physical magazine, I only have, about 48 pages and that I have to put ads in there too.
yeah.
And I am hoping still that I will keep getting contributors and more writers. And I don't want to deny anybody. I mean, I'm a writer. The worst thing you can get is a rejection because it just, rips a little part of your soul out. So I designed the website. Forgive my pen. My cat is playing with it. So I have decided to
That's
hold it.
okay.
So the cat
Our
is no
people
longer
love
playing with it.
animals, so
I will introduce
You're
you to
fine.
my cat in a moment or two. But anyway, the website is designed to publish everything that I can't put in the magazine. The overflow I put onto the website, plus more things. I have Jenny Catalano. She sends me great product reviews, and she's also a children's author. And so she
Nice.
will send me book reviews as well. And I certainly can use more alcohol reviews for any of you who love your whiskeys. Please write to me because I want to publish those. But also, I want to publish reviews of stuff, of gifts, of clothing. I mean, the holidays are coming up, and I love, poking
Right?
around Etsy and finding stuff that's really unique because that's what I go for. Everybody is seeing the same old traditional, little Celtic earrings with a little triskelion. But when you can find that in a handmade hair tie or something like that, or a really cool
Oh,
Celtic
yeah.
pillow, yeah, I love the interesting and unique, and that's what the magazine is about too.
Nice. That's wonderful. So you have authors, but then you have musicians as well. Tell us a little bit about some of your musicians. Obviously, Celtic Rain is one of them, but there
Celtic
are
Rain
others.
is certainly one of them. And I know it's tricky to read about a musician because you want to hear the music. But again, I decided to profile an artist and a musician for each issue. So in my December, I started off with a gentleman. His name is Brian, and he's just on YouTube solo piano, but oh my God, can this guy play? And he played "She Moved Through the Fair," and it was just so lovely. I'm thinking, okay, I have to interview him.
Yes.
For
Yeah.
but then sticking with the unique, I was just starting to, my journey into Celtic Nations magazine, and I found Pereg Arbegol, who is an incredibly talented yet smoking hot bagpiper who plays for. I'm fishing out his picture right now. I'll tell you, when I say smoking hot, I
Yeah.
am not kidding. Okay, so is that in frame? Okay,
Yes, you can see
and he is the sweetest man, and he is so dedicated to his craft. He plays for Skiltron, and that is a Celtic heavy metal band out of France.
nice.
But it wasn't just his look; his story was amazing. He over Facebook we did a 2-hour interview, and then he was my March musician, and then for June, Pereg, by the way, is sort of a nickname for Pierre, but Pereg. Anyway, he told me about Archie J, who calls herself the Snake Charmer. She's a woman from India. Now, you wouldn't think a woman from India would want to learn to play the bagpipes, but not only did she's really good. And then in one of her videos, it's the song Alleluia. That's the pop song. She sings in that, and oh dear God, does she have a voice? It was just amazing. I was just blown away. But what I love about her work is that she combined sort of a rhythm of classic tunes from India into her piping. And it was that fusion that I just found so amazing. And then, of course,
wonderful.
Celtic Rain, your voice just is stellar. And your heart and soul really comes through in your music. And so who's my, if I know that we can't broadcast their songs, but if I can hold it up, this
Absolutely.
is, okay, let me see if I can get it out of the reflection. This is Sire. Sire is a Celtic rock band out of South Carolina. This is my upcoming musician for the winter issue. And do you want to continue this in another segment? Are we good?
No, keep going.
Okay,
You're
cool.
good.
Thanks. They have Kyle is the lead singer there, and it's like a journey. The whole album. It's not
That's wonderful.
anthemic the way you would get like 2112 from Rush, but
Right.
everything is an arc of a journey based on a theme. And so this is
That's
their
beautiful.
new CD, which I got with the VIP label on there.
Ooh, so fancy.
VIP preview, yeah. And it's called Sentinel. And it's like a journey into Celtic myths and legends in and of itself. So
That's
they were
amazing.
they were a perfect
Yeah.
fit
Well, I know.
for the
I
December issue.
Absolutely. I know that you it comes out, your new one comes out in December. But people can go to the website to order, is that correct? So they can go to CelticNationsMagazine.com and go ahead and get on that list and order that. And possibly get the ones from before, cuz that's always available.
Yes.
And just so everybody knows, Celtic Rain was in the September issue. Is that correct?
Yes, you were.
Yes,
September.
yes. So pick that one up if you want to have a little bit of a Celtic Rain situation. But we are going to hear some music, and you're going to dance with us a little bit and have fun and be silly. Because
Yes.
if nothing else happens on this show, we play music and have fun.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
my
I'm ready to
whole-
rock.
Good. That's awesome. Well, I'm gonna say goodbye for a moment, and then
Okay.
you'll be back. All right. Well, isn't she just I know I say this all the time, and I don't care. It's like she's so cute. You just put her in my pocket and save her for later. It's so cute. Okay, so we are gonna listen to some amazing music. I know, right? And there's a one that says that's named "I Don't Know Why I Do What I Do." Dude, that's like me every day. What the freak? What am I doing? But it's by Kelly Miller. Kelly Miller is going to be on our show hopefully soon. She was going to be here tonight, but thank God Erin could fill in for us. but Kelly had something she had to do, and it was very, very personal. So, we're wishing you luck. We love you. But Kelly, we're still going to play your beautiful music. And then there's Pushed. No, I'm not saying that right. Putsch. It's Putsh. Thank you. By Victor Sierra. And you guys know, I am a big Victor Sierra fan. Like, I love some Victor Sierra. And then we have Hideous Dark Memories of the Forgotten Past. That's beautiful. By Scarshed and Mod. So, that's heavy metal, but it's wonderful. We're gonna actually have them on the 30th of November, so you'll get to meet them. They're part of a group that I've been working with a promoter that has all of his people, and so with a label, and so we're working with that label to help show their musicians and really get them out there. But so we're gonna start a little bit out with some amazing music. You ready? Let's do some music.
The alarm rings at 6 a.m. Somehow I'm feeling alone again. façade d'un palace. La vapeur monte et se transmute en glace. Ça crépite quand les tramways passent. On se glisse dans les coulisses de l'histoire et on déclame debout sur le bar sans retard. On hisse le drapeau noir.
prende e vuole fottere ogni donna nella fregna.
That's some stuff right there. Okay, yeah, I understand, David. David said, he said, you know, it, if you have hideous, dark memories of it, is it really a forgotten past? Probably not. Probably not. But it also then they wouldn't have the name. So I guess they wanted the name. So I get it though. I do get it. All right, I understand completely. I do. It's bothering your brain, isn't it? It's just bothering your brain. I get it. Well, you are watching the Celtic Rain Radio Show. You can go and subscribe and see how people are getting their comments up. If you go to the YouTube channel, you get to be a part of the show. That's right. You get to be a part of the show. So come on over to youtube.com/C for channel /Celtic Rain, like rain out of the sky. Come on over, subscribe. It'll tell you when we're coming on. And it'll also tell you when things have come out, so therefore you can go and watch. Not only is the Celtic Rain Radio Show on this, but if you go to there's a tab that I can't think of right now. Anyways, you can actually see all of the Celtic Rain's concerts too that we are able to record and put up there. It's really, really awesome. So you go to all those little things and you can see them. Just go check out all the lists. All the lists. They're beautiful. But if you have music you want to send to me, as you see before, if I miss one and it pops up and something's not great in it, I will just take it down. So, but if it's not, as you see, I play everything. So, you're a small label or independent artist, please send me your stuff, MP3s, to CelticRain777@gmail.com. All right, we got some amazing music coming your way, another set. Now, you guys that have been watching for a while know this, but not everybody does. I am an ordained minister. I know. Crazy. Because, you know, I don't know. There you go. But a part of what I do is I write spiritual songs too. And this one's called Mercy Train that you're going to hear next. And we have been playing this song. Actually, I wrote it in college. Like undergrad college. And then me and Samuel recorded it when we first were married. So we were just babies when we recorded this. Babies. I know, crazy. Anyways, and then I'm gonna play a song called, it's called Quadrai. I am not gonna say this right, and you're just gonna read it. It's Quadari, and my dyslexia is kicking my butt trying to read that word. But it's by the Mathematicians with Rusty Humphrey, and you guys know Rusty. He's a sweetheart of a guy, bassist like you've never known before in your life. Ridiculous bassist, but you know, it's a little prog rock for you. And then we've got Long Way From Home by Kevin Mendenhall, country tune, real great tune. Then we're gonna hear from our beautiful Erin again. It's gonna be awesome. She's got new things to tell you even. I know, right? New things? That's crazy. I know. That's what I gotta say. So here you go. A little bit of music for you. Where'd it go? Maybe. Let's see. Let's try this again and see if it works. I'm going to remove that. And we're going to try one more time. Come on. Work with me here, beautiful. And let's see if I can do something to make it happen. Something just... Oh, you. There it is. I don't know what happened there. Let's just rewind. This is called The Magic. There it is. Stop the train of grace. I need on. Carry me through faith. Moving on to complete salvation. To complete salvation. nothing that I can do to earn it, to gain it, to keep it, to buy it. All I have to do is accept you. All I have to do is accept you. So stop the train of grace. I need on, I need on. Carry me through faith, moving on to complete salvation, to complete salvation. Oh, stop the train of grace. I need on, I need on. Oh, carry me through faith, moving on to complete salvation, to complete salvation. My daily walk, everything I do, decisions I make, decide to follow you, knowing that my path is complete salvation. Body, soul, and spirit, save me, oh save me. Body, soul, and spirit, save me, oh save me, yeah. I need on, I need on. 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 Stop the train, complete salvation. So stop the train of grace. I need on, I need on. Oh, carry me through faith, moving on to complete salvation, to complete salvation. Oh, stop the train of grace. I need on, I need on. Oh, carry me through faith, moving on to complete salvation, to complete salvation, to complete salvation. Stop the train of grace, to complete salvation. Stop the train of grace. Stop the train, stop the train. Stop the train, stop the train. Stop the train, stop the train. Stop the train. I think he's a long way from home. What do you think? Oh, and our wonderful person that you're going to talk a little more to in just a minute. She helped me understand how to say the name of that song. It's Quadari, and which thank you, because I never would have got that. Like never. But hey, guys, as you see, we play all the music, all the stuff, baby. So we're gonna bring her back on. Hey, gorgeous, how are you?
Good stuff.
Yeah. So thank
good
you,
stuff.
thank you for the help there.
No problem. I would put the emphasis on the second syllable and say Quadari.
Quadari. So I was
Has
even
a
wrong
nice
even
ring to
then.
it. Hey, did you want the
Quadari.
history of the word Celtic?
Sure, go for it.
I get this question a lot. So originally it was spelled. I do a lot of fairs. Originally it was spelled with the letter K, the kappa, which is the Greek, and the Greek called those weirdos who lived on the other side of the river the Keltoi, Keltoi. And then when Romans adopted the word, they spelled it with a C, but they still pronounced it Celte. By the way, it's not Caesar, it's really Kaiser, which is how you get Kaiser. That's a whole nother use of the hard C. But when Latin became the Romance languages, so after the fall of Rome and then into the Middle Ages, the Renaissance and the Enlightenment, the C followed by an E is a soft S sound. So in French and Spanish, Italian, Portuguese, it became Celtic. Until in around the 1800s, in the universities in Ireland, because we Irish are pugnacious people, the scholars said, let's go back to using the original Greek. No, trust us, it's Celtic. We've done the research. And then as Irish independence became, such a solid movement in the 1900s and whatnot, saying Celtic was, no, you say Celtic. And here's my Celtic cat. This is Lewis, who has just gotten up in my space. Lewis Black. Everybody get it? Right. Okay. So let's hopefully, because if you may have seen his tail just swishing right behind me there, in case you were wondering what that feather boa was. It was like, nope, just a cat tail. Here we go. Anyway, so it became sort of a badge of Irish pride to say Celtic. But yes, that's why we have the Boston Celtics, but we have the concert Celtic Woman. But I do notice when I do a lot of fairs and festivals, people who speak a Latin language, which is most typically I encounter Spanish, it'll always be Celtic to them. And I'll just smile politely and say, sure, Celtic. It's okay.
So we when we won Group of the Year and Band of the Year for down in North Carolina, when they announced it as Celtic Rain. And so I know. So we went up. I know it's like nails right? on a freaking chalkboard. And so we went up there, and I was like, "It's Celtic Rain, and thank you so much for this honor." And I was just like, "That's wrong." Don't ever
I always
say
like watching a group of people, and you can tell who's the alpha in the group of people by, no, it's pronounced Celtic, la, 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 la. And you'll have a group of four, and sometimes it'll be the woman who is the alpha, and everybody else just says, okay, she's doing her thing. And they just don't argue. It's really fun to watch sociology around, is it Celtic or Celtic?
Yes.
And then
Yes.
I'll just say, well, technically both are correct. It just depends on the time and place. So I
There
won't
you go.
fault you for being, confused, but we'll happily educate you as to the difference.
Yeah, I will happily and nicely educate you.
Yes. I
And
will.
if you need something up the side of the head, then we can do that too. I mean, if that's really what you want. No, I'm just kidding.
I wanted to share my work, my mandala.
Yes, please tell
If
us.
I can get them in frame. This is how I began my career. I started creating Celtic designs, and sure enough, when you trace the designs with, say, a handy dandy chopstick that I was playing during the last song, it's actually, see, I'm doing this as a mirror image here, so.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, you trace the designs. I can't do it. Not backwards, but anyway. Tracing locks down the hand-to-eye coordination, and so when you just start following along the bends and the curls and how it moves and how it flows, sure enough, it steadies the brain. And I use my designs to trick people into meditating. And I show at professional conferences for counseling, for therapy, scholastic. I've shown at the American School Counselor Conference, American Counselor. I even got onto the floor of the American Psychological Association, and that takes a little evidence base to get on that exhibit hall floor. Some of my designs I was just showing are simple, and then they start getting progressively complex, because some people like simple designs. My seahorse is a really neat one.
That's very beautiful.
And then some of my designs, the Celtic wolf. I got to show off my Celtic wolf because
beautiful.
he's one of my best designs. By the way, ADHD boys love to trace this design. And yes, it helps them focus. But that doesn't mean I can't get a little off the hook here, like my Celtic phoenix.
Ooh, I have a friend who loves phoenixes. Like ridiculous.
That's
He
an
loves
intense
phoenix.
design. So then after
Yeah,
I
it's
did my
beautiful.
Celtic collection, which is how I built my whole career, I started doing labyrinths, finger labyrinths.
Yes. I was
that
actually
you-
going to say that. It reminds me of the
Right.
same kind of meditation you would do in a labyrinth.
Right. So I started to do a study on labyrinths from around the world, and I have 21 of them in my full collection. A couple I've designed, and then a lot I researched. And of course, no labyrinth collection is complete without the one from Chartres Cathedral in France.
Oh, of course.
Absolutely, got to have
Of
it.
course.
But I sell them as therapy pieces. I'll sell them on therapy pillows, which are really nice. These are little flip books. I don't have these in production anymore, but I have big workbooks. I have travel cards that you can just fit in your pocket, and they come with little styluses for tracing. And so I don't know if you put up a banner for me, but it's Celtic Art Store. But if you go to CelticNationsMagazine.com, there's a link. Of course, I'm putting my own advertising, on my own magazine. So
Of course.
CelticArtStore.net. Because where else do you
There
buy
you go.
Celtic art? You buy it at a Celtic Art Store.
Exactly.
.net. But you can buy my, I call them mandolins, which is the word mandala and the word labyrinth, mandolin. Because the only other way to
Nice.
do that is by saying labradala, and that sounds like a dog. So, we don't do that.
It does.
But there we go.
It does.
And then one more thing to share. I happen to be a novelist. I've written a book.
Nice.
This is a fantasy adventure novel. I haven't shared this with you yet, so surprise, surprise.
No, you haven't.
I'm self-publishing, but I'm working with a professional editor he has 40 years in publishing. His name is Pat Labruto. He's worked for Bantam Books and Doubleday. And I'll just read you very quickly his little blurb, which if you don't understand the reference, I will explain it. A complete working world with strong living characters and plenty of action and a twisted plot hatched by Hitchcock on Phil Dick's drugs. I will explain that. And then he says, prepare to be as happily surprised as I was. This is capital, not your usual fantasy novel. Phil Dick wrote The Man in the High Castle. Phil Dick wrote the short stories that became Total Recall, and Blade Runner.
Okay.
So needless to say, a really good bunch of twisted plot lines there. Phil did a lot of meth. Forgive me, this is a family show, but he did a lot of drugs.
You know,
So,
it's one thing to know that things happened. It's another to tread on yourself.
So
on a
when
show.
my editor compared me to Hitchcock on Phil Dick's drugs, that was actually an incredibly high compliment from a guy who has 40 years in publishing. And he said my ending actually surprised him. Now, it is very hard to surprise a man who is that well read. My editor can sit down and tell you old science fiction stories from the 50s in Los Angeles with Bradbury and Forey Ackerman and, you know, all the names that got our genre started. But yes, the book is at Bayan right now. I hope they take it. We're also sending out to tour. But in the meantime, I'm self-publishing. It's a good story. You'll hate me by chapter 5, and it's 16 chapters long. It's only 88,000 words. You can chomp it down in a weekend, but I get a lot of people. It really turns into a nail biter in the last 4 pages, like oh. And then the ending, it is a little bit of a surprise. But I have a lot of my readers say I had to read it again right after they finished, because like a good roller coaster ride, it's really, really twisted, and then boom, you're back in the station and you stop.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love, believe me, tell them one more time where to find that, because you can go to Celtic Nations magazine and find it, but at the same time, there's actually another website to find all this beautiful
there is
stuff on.
So again, the reason we're here is because of, I didn't hold up the June issue, my magazine, Celtic Nations Magazine, which you've got up there on your banner, CelticNationsMagazine.com. And by the way, yes, I do sell one physical subscriptions. It's $44 a year. Back issues, so you can buy all the back issues with their 4 back issues, are $12.95 each. You can also buy a digital subscription and read the magazine online or download it as a PDF. So the store where I do all my commerce is CelticArtStore.net, because where else do you buy Celtic art? You buy it at a Celtic Art Store.
That's right.
.net. And so that's where you can find all my mindfulness art. I also do really fun thing like, you know, Dance Macabre t-shirts and pirate designs. I got a lot, because I'm a graphic designer. Yeah. And as I said, when COVID shut all our shows down last year, I wound up with way too much free time. So I just started doing lots and lots of design work. But it gave me a chance to polish the book and get the manuscript ready for submission. And I'm also attending the World Science Fiction Fantasy Convention this December in Washington, D.C. I'm based in Los Angeles, so I will be at LosCon, which is one of the oldest running science fiction conventions in the country. That's the Los Angeles Science Fiction Convention. It'll be at the LAX Marriott over Thanksgiving weekend. It's always that time of year. But I'm really excited about the book. I'm excited about the magazine and the radio broadcast.
Which we will be talking
about that, or is that a teaser for the next segment?
Yeah, that's a teaser for the next segment. Yeah. In fact, we're going to be talking about the radio station that's going to have this show syndicated on it. So that's really, really awesome. And we'll talk about that in just a minute. But we do have a couple more songs before that. So
awesome.
You know, we're all about the music here. So it's awesome. So give us a few moments. You get to dance with us. And then we'll talk about that radio station. It's going to be awesome. Cool?
It's off the hook already.
Yes. All right, guys. Yeah, I know, right? She's so talented. So go check her stuff out. Go check her stuff out. Because you will want to, this is why I do this. I want people to hear about other people's things, to be able to go and support artists and musicians, and really go, if you see a musician or a band that you really, really love on the show, look them up. Because give you the name, look them up, and then you can go and find them. Believe me, pretty much all of them are on Facebook, so that's a good place to start. You can always Google somebody, you know, Google knows literally everything, and it's kind of scary, but, you know, there you are. Literally, you'll walk past them, and they're like, how was your lunch there? And I'm like, I didn't eat there, I just walked past it. So, I'm just saying. Google knows everything. It's a little scary, but there you go. But we do have some beautiful music coming your way. One of Celtic Nations Magazine's artists and authors, along with us, another one that you heard from a couple weeks ago was Tiffany Appen. And I'm going to play her other Scarborough Fair. I'm actually going to play Scarborough Fair this time. And so it's more of the gothic folk rock version of Scarborough Fair. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Then we're going to listen to Always Reaching Up for the Sun by Monoplan. Remember Monoplan? He's Russian. But he's a one-man band kind of situation. He does everything on the album. Really, really amazing. Normally, his songs' names are in Russian, and it's really nice when they're in English because, as you guys know, I just murder it. It's really kind of sad. So, Monoplan, though, I want you on. We got to figure out. I think that's going to be a pre-recorded situation because, obviously he's in Russia. So there you go. And then we have Seth from Bleeding Raven. And so that's a very electronic metal. I know, right? Crazy awesome. So we are going to have some really, really great music. So, and then we're going to hear about an amazing new radio station. I know. So here we go. Let's listen to some amazing music.
Remember me to one who lives there.
As sure as the sun rises, truth has its own disguises. Life is a sea of meanings, and love never ends. Love has a million beginnings. A million beginnings. I am the stream from the mouth of a river. I am the wind in the fields of forever. I am the tree at the foot of a mountain, with arms just like branches, always reaching up for the sun, always reaching up for the sun, for the sun.
Reminds me of when I was in high school and going to raves. Yes. I would sneak out and go to raves. And then in college, you didn't have to sneak out. You just went to them. Yeah. So, yeah, that's, there are moments in life when I was a party animal. Actually, it reminds me very much even more of going to goth nights in Indianapolis. Because, dude, I love you all, but I am a gothic princess. It is just what it is. I mean, it is. So, yeah, this is what happens when goths get older and have children. They become musicians and other things. They grow up, but they still have cool hair. That's the thing. Yeah, gotta have cool hair. So, yeah, we're gonna bring our beautiful Erin back on. Hey,
Definitely
so now
cool hair. Definitely cool.
Definitely cool hair. You have to have cool hair. I'm just saying.
Do you love Tiffany's voice or what?
She is pretty crazy awesome, right?
Her
I know.
That's what so impressed me when the first track she sent over just unfortunately was in a pub. I think it didn't have great production quality, but her voice just shined. I mean, it just just grabs you. And by the way, she also contributes to the magazine, both
Yes.
in print and on the website. She writes great product reviews, and then she does for September. September. It's a segue into Halloween, so you gotta do the spooky stuff too. But she wrote this really neat little short story that I had to use to open the magazine. Each issue of my magazine is like the arc of a story. So, I started off and I take my readers where I want to go. But segueing now to the new venture, because as I'm, typesetting my magazine, I'm thinking, God, I wish I could listen to some cool music. So while there are other, Celtic radio stations that are broadcasting, forgive me, but they're all playing fiddly IA music, and the kind, you know what I'm talking about. That's
Oh
old
yeah.
pub music with a mandolin and the tenor singing an Irish tune, and I'm like, just shooting my brains out right now. I'm sorry. There's nothing. I'm sure that some people love their pub music, but give me a bass line and a drum kit, please.
Yes.
And there's so many amazing artists that are doing Celtic metal, Celtic punk. I mean, come on. Dropkick Murphys and Flogging Molly, that is Celtic punk. And by the way, I
Yes,
always
it
like
is.
to say the time signature of a any punk song is like a polka on meth. Um, it's still
Oh well,
that
Celtic music in general, they have the craziest time signatures.
terribly
It's
crazy
just,
time
it's
signatures.
crazy. They're
6,
not
8,
normal.
9, 12. No, not normal at all.
It's absolutely beautiful, and they'll just add extra beats in there. It's like,
Yep.
just needs an
So
extra
when you
beat.
can combine a really good piper with a guitarist and a bassist and a drum kit and maybe a fiddle, and guess what? You have Celtica Pipes Rock. And if you've
There you
never
go.
heard Celtica, everybody just go to YouTube and look up Celtica.
I have heard
And
Celtica.
they
Celtica's
just said,
great.
yes, we'd love to be involved. So I just added Celtica to the radio
Awesome.
station. So I decided, I floated it out there on YouTube, both to the private group and then to everybody else, because I'm not masochistic enough with just a magazine. Should I launch Celtic Nations Radio, which is it's live now, a Celtic
Yeah.
rock radio station. And unlike some of the other small little indie stations out there, I'm going to invest in my show, in my station, and pay royalties so that I can broadcast U2
Yes.
and Flogging Molly and Dropkick Murphys. And the big bands are great, but indie bands are just absolutely amazing.
Yep.
And so, as I mentioned,
That's
Sire,
what we're all about here.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're all about.
I know it's spelled SYR, but they pronounce it Sire. But also, I was at a local music festival. There's this one great band. They call themselves Crack in the Stone. Get it?
Nice.
Okay, so for those of you who don't understand, crack is what's to crack? What's happening? What's to crack? Tell me to crack. So they spell it Crack in the Stone, ha ha ha, and they sell T-shirts that say Crackheads, which I think is hilarious.
That is pretty funny.
Killian's Bridge. They do a lot of covers, but they have one song leading the CD called Plunkster, which is just freaking off the hook. And then John McLean Allen. Now let's see if I can get it in there without too much glare. He plays pipes, but he's got a whole band to back up, and just awesome stuff. And
Nice.
for example, one of the songs that I'm probably going to have to capture the sound off of YouTube, but it's okay. I'm paying royalties, so this will be fine. Remember I mentioned my hot piper and then the India piper. And then there's also a wonderful band that is Celtica Nova. And these guys over COVID did a bagpipe cover of The Final Countdown by Europe.
Oh my goodness. That's
And
awesome.
It just rocks. When I need a little pick me up because the caffeine hasn't hit, just everybody go to YouTube and search for Final Countdown Bagpipes, and it is 3 minutes well spent.
That's amazing.
So I hooked up with a radio hosting platform, and yeah, I've started to collect Celtic rock, Celtic metal, Celtic punk, but also Celtic soundtracks. Another person who contributes to the magazine and also online, and she was my artist for the September issue, Andrea Dean von Soyak. She does the most amazing instrumentals. And so, like
Nice.
Viking warrior queen instrumentals, things like that,
Beautiful.
that just have a pulse to them and just take you away into a huge realm. And then by far one of my favorite artists, and I don't have his CD in front of me, Steve McDonald is, he has this haunting Celtic New Age sound. He's out of Australia. And just look up Steve McDonald on YouTube. But of course, you can listen to him. So Celtic Nations Radio. Now, I've got a campaign and I need everybody's help. If I can get 2,000 likes on Facebook, which is Facebook Celtic Nations Radio, then it has to reach the 2,000 mark, because then Facebook will allow me to install a widget so you can broadcast. I can broadcast live on Facebook.
Nice.
So right now you can hear the radio station online at CelticNationsRadio.com. You just hit play, and then you can minimize your screen or even leave it in the background on your phone. It'll keep playing. The Android app and the Apple app are in process of being published. Android will come out first because Google takes a lot less time, but the Apple app, both will be coming. It will also be available on Alexa, so you can say, "Hey Alexa, play Celtic Nations Radio," and then it will also. I'm also going to broadcast on TuneIn, so that we really get it out there. And I'm going to be doing a lot of festivals and fairs coming up this next year. I'm already booked for Dallas for the North Texas Irish Festival. I'm going to do Longs Peak, Colorado. That's a big one. Stone Mountain, Georgia. And then I want to get back to the big Celtic festival in Dublin, Ohio. If you've never been to that, it's just massive. And then the largest one is the Celtic Classic. It's in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. And we'll be there with both the magazine and back issues of the magazine as well. And then the radio station blasting on, Bluetooth speakers while we're going to give out little badges, little buttons that'll say like Crackhead or have our station logo, or which really is a cool station logo. It's a Triskelion.
I can put that up and actually show you guys that.
Can you get it?
Yeah, you go right ahead and I'll get
anyway,
that in. Keep talking.
Logo.
Keep talking.
Or little badges that say I was Celtic before Celtic was cool, or Celtic music kicks ours. And we're going to have a tub of them, and they're free. Just download the app. Show me that you've downloaded the app, and you can have a button of your choice. So
I can't seem to bring it up, but I'll definitely put that on a video so you guys can see that later, because the Celtic Rain radio show is actually going to be a part of your radio show, so of your radio station, and we're working out right now timing. I know time slots. I also have another wonderful podcaster, Niamh Cooper. She's in Ireland. She's going to be doing a lot of our. You're listening to Celtic Nations Radio, rocking the world's Celtic nations. He's going to be doing a lot of our slugs. Celtica actually said, "Can we give you a greeting? Hi, this is Celtica, and you're listening to Celtic Nations Radio." Yes, please. That's
yes,
a
please.
great idea. You should get that from as many artists as you possibly can,
right? So
that they can then, if their music's getting played, dude. That's advertisement for you and for them, frankly.
Bingo. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Because what I can do is I can slot in one of those greetings and then one of their tracks right after. And then what I'm also going to do is network with the individual festivals. If they'll give me their band list, I'll reach out to all the bands. Hey, can you give me some tracks? And then I'll say, this hour block is brought to you by the North Texas Irish Festival. And I can do that for all festivals all around the country. Because, what I've noticed is, bands like yours, you have amazing followings, but just on your one channel, there's no one station broadcasting everybody. And
exactly.
And the whole point of my magazine was to bring the Celtic world together in a way that was really fun and enjoyable. And as I said, a slightly bit weird. But you can listen to fiddly IDA music all you want, but they're not going to play the Drop Hit Murphys. And
they're not going to play the Celtic Rains, and they're not going to play the 5 other Celtic bands that are here in Indianapolis.
Exactly.
Because they just don't. They play the same songs because they're getting paid to play the same songs. Yeah,
or their copyright-free license.
Exactly.
Their copyright commons.
Yeah.
No, I really want to focus on the indie bands. And so on the website, which you've got up right now, CelticNationsRadio.com, I'm doing my best to at least write a quick profile of every one of our bands. And both on Celtic Nations Radio and on Celtic Nations Magazine, we've got an event calendar that's filling in. So you'll be able to click on. Now, there are other Celtic events calendars, but again, I want mine to be a little bit more comprehensive because, as I said, I'm not quite masochistic enough. But it's all about bringing we Celts together. As much as I love Ren fairs, and believe you me, I've been doing them for 30 years, you can put on a costume and pretend to be a pirate, but you're born a Celt. It's just in us. Although, and one of the articles I have in our June issue is the Celtic Mandalorian. Now, this is a little surprising, but when I first,
Interesting.
and I'm going somewhere with this, when I first saw the Mandalorian, I'm like, wait a minute, dude, you're part of a tribe run by a woman, and she gives you weaponry. You're a Celt, and and so I reached out to author Karen Travis, who had written the Rogue Squadron series in the Star Wars canon, and she said yes, actually, she had used the Celtic culture, which is why the Mandos are a creed, not a bloodline. And the same with us Celts. We were a
Nice.
culture, not some, even though you're born a Celt, it really is a culture. And that's what I want to capture. So yes, for both the radio stations, if you're a Celtic indie band, please contact me. You can reach out
Yes.
through the website, and I'm sure Rebecca will have my email, but it's celticnationsradio@gmail. You can find us branded everywhere as Celtic Nations Magazine or Celtic Nations Radio. We just had to shorten it for Twitter because it's too long a handle. But I want to know about you. I want to talk about you. I want to broadcast you. I want to publish you. If you're an author, if you're an artisan, I want to know about what you do, because the website, especially with Celtic Nations Magazine, because it's been live for a year, the radio station just launched. We're still building some of that. But I want to be a repository for all things cool, all things Celtic, and most things weird.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what we're
And
working on.
here at the Celtic, here at the Celtic Rain radio show, that's actually one thing I had in my brain was one day I would love to have a radio station and then have these things played, have all of the small label and independent artists played at this, that, and the other, and have this show and that show and different kinds of shows. But for me, I was like, okay, well, lockdown happened. And I had to figure out, oh my gosh, well, I'm going to start this thing. Okay, where do I start?
Yeah.
For me, it was starting with just the Celtic Rain radio show and going from there. But I can see it getting bigger,
Yeah.
and working off each other and just playing with it and feeding into the different things that people do. Because what I found was that there's a repository of ridiculous, amazing music out there.
Amazing music.
That nobody is taking advantage of. That
And they
nobody's
never even get
playing.
into a studio. They're just
No.
playing at a festival, and they haven't gotten
Yeah.
themselves into a studio.
Because they're like, well, this is what we got, and they were recording it, so we used it as an album. And dude, I've done that. We've done that. Half our freaking
Yeah.
albums are because we were performing and somebody recorded it, and we were like,
Absolutely.
oh, thanks. And then I went and figured out how to master it and made it better, and and you do those things, and you go from there, and you go, oh, well, that's great. Okay, well, then now, I think what's come out of the pandemic, at least, because people who are creative, if you give them enough time, they're going to make, and they're going to make, and they're going to make things. And I think we're going to find that things like Celtic Rain Radio Show, Celtic Nations Magazine, Celtic Nations Radio, that more things like that are going to start happening. Because the creativeness was just like ready.
Well, one
It
thing
was
I've
just
always
ready,
noticed,
and you had time.
we creative people create better when we have a problem to solve. Like, oh my God, how am I going to make rent? That's when the juices kick in. It's not when we're doing the same old, one show, another show, another show. When you're locked down in a pandemic and going, oh yeah, I don't have mortgage money this month. Well, I do, thank God I got a PPP loan, because that did help me for a few good months. And I'm so glad that when the CARES Act passed, I was able to put my mortgage on forbearance for about a year. I mean, phew, I know a lot of people weren't that lucky, and my heart goes out.
No.
But that gave me time to go, okay, now what am I going to do? And it's taken me on a whole new journey. And meeting people like you is just part of, like you said in the beginning, we are a family. My writers group, you're part of it. I have a private group on Facebook just for the contributors, and everybody supports one another with ideas, with responding to me when I have a crazy idea, like, should I start a radio station? They go, sure, why not? But everybody got behind it, and that's so in a way, some of us have been able to the shadow of the lockdown created whole new sprouts that have now grown up and are taking root. And yeah, I'm so very excited about this. I want to get to 500,000 listeners by this time next year. So everybody, it's free to listen. Just tune on in and listen.
Right. Exactly.
And then if things go well, I want to do Celtic Nations Radio Europe for that time slot, and then Celtic Nations Radio Australia because you know, it's just one. And then if I can get to some of the shows in those countries, because that's the beauty of streaming. It's global. I mean, we're no longer locked into the AM or FM band. Thank you, Internet.
Right. No. Well, that's the thing with my show. It's YouTube. You know,
Absolutely.
right now. So, and then it'll be on Celtic Nations radio, and we have listeners all over the world.
Yeah,
all over the world, and we play music from all over the world. So, you know, it's like, okay, let's do this thing. I think it's time. I think it's time for us creative types to just take over the world. It's pretty much time.
I
mean, it's just the way it is.
I absolutely agree. And I can't do it all by myself, but what I can do is create
work together.
a platform where everybody can work together. And I will gently steer the ship. I will be the benevolent captain, but you know, a good editor helps the writers, and a good station manager gives feedback, constructive feedback on where I think an artist can improve. And being an artist and a writer myself, you know, sometimes the harshest critiques are actually the best ones, if they're delivered in a positive way, not in a way of being a hater or anything like that.
Let's not tear people down.
Let's not tear people down. But I am so excited to have these platforms, both in print, online, and now broadcasting everywhere. So please listen to Celtic Nations Radio, and please suggest your favorite bands so I can reach out to them.
Yes. So I'm going to just remind them real quick, and then we're going to listen to just a little bit more music. You guys go right now after the show. Not right now. After the show, go to youtube.com/Celtic Nations Radio and go ahead and just like
Not
it.
Not YouTube. We're not on YouTube. Facebook.
No. Facebook. I said YouTube tonight.
You
Sorry,
said
my
YouTube.
fault. Facebook.com/Celtic Nations Radio.
And like, because I got
like it. Yes, because she wants to get to the 2,000 likes. Then you guys need to go over to www.celticnationsradio.com. If there is, just go ahead and put your little, you know, hit the little star.
The player is right in the header. Just
hit the little star. That way you saved it for later. And then go ahead and go over to CelticNationsMagazine.com and go ahead and subscribe to that too, because this is how we're going to help people. This is how we're going to help. It's just support. Yep. So we are going to listen to a couple more 4 songs, and then it's going to be a good night. But I have had a great time.
I've had a wonderful time. Thank you so much for having me. It's just been a great show.
You are very welcome.
And this is our first time meeting. I know. We've chatted online, but this is our first time saying, hi, girlfriend.
I know. And I think there's going to be more of this.
And thank you for your article. And everybody, please ping me. I want to hear your voice. I want to hear what you have to say. And I want to hear your songs.
Yes. All right. Well, let's listen to some more music. All right, guys, there is some beautiful music, and you guys go, not right now, but later. Write that stuff. It's not hard to forget. It's not hard to forget, right? So Celtic Nations Magazine, Celtic Nations Radio, Celtic Nations on Facebook. Yeah, it's pretty repetitive, just saying. Well, we have Left in the Dark by Doug Fox, an instrumental tune. And then we have Mrs. McGregor's Rocket Ship by Dr. Celius Amdusius. That he's so sweet. He's so cute. And then we have On the Victor by Greenlee. Greenlee's one that frankly should be on the radio station. We're going to talk about that. And then there's The Naked Time by 5 Year Mission. So remember 5 Year Mission? We're going to have them back on too, because they're a band that writes music about Star Trek. They're a Star Trek band. They're the best in the world. They make me happy inside. So, you guys, a little bit more music for you tonight. All right, let's do this.
There's a bright, bright, shining star on the edge of the Milky Way, and it's named Alpha Centauri, and we'll make it there someday. But I can tell a tale of a woman who'll get there first, and her name is Gertrude McGregor, off to sail the universe. One night in spring, while looking at the sky, Mrs. McGregor saw a bright blue star twinkling in her eye. She called her roommate Mabel and asked her what she saw. Mabel said that's Alpha Centauri, and Gertrude said I'd like to go. 'Cause Mrs. McGregor had a rocket ship, and the rocket ship she had, it was built in her back garden between the lofters and the shed. She went out to the garden, started working on a ship to carry her into space on an intergalactic trip. She read books on astrophysics, she read books on astronomy, she read books on aeroelasticity, tables up like the tea. 'Cause Mrs. McGregor had a rocket ship, and a rocket ship she had. It was built in her back garden, between allotments and the shed. One autumn night, the rocket was ready to sail. Built from brass and chrome, hammers and screws and nails. Mrs. McGregor was captain, pilot engineer as well. Mabel was in charge.
know. This blood inside is still half human, but I shouldn't be susceptible to the sinking heart or the way it's assuming control. Walk in a room and clutch the table, sit in a chair and bow my head. Hold on to myself the best I'm able. I feel, I hurt, I love. Can happen to me, there is no logic. Must keep it all inside of me. I can't let it go. Vocals don't cry. Vocals don't cry. Can't help it, I talk about mother. He tries to snap me out of it. A smack in the face, he gives me another. I take him in the mouth. He goes sailing over a table. He's mad and he's bleeding from the lip. He screams in my face and says, "Focus, don't cry. Focus, don't cry."
There is nothing better than Star Trek rock. Just gotta say that. Nothing better. And Naked Time, is my two favorite things. Star Trek and Naked Time. I know. It's hilarious, right? It's hilarious. Cracks me the heck up. Well, I'm telling you what, we have had an amazing show. I thank you so much, Erin, for being here. It has been just awesome to have you here. We thank you so much. Everybody, check out the Celtic Nations magazine. Make sure that you go over and check out Celtic Nations Radio and
like
make
me on
sure.
Facebook.
Yes, and like her on Facebook. That's right. Also, remember, go to youtube.com/C for channel /Celtic Rain and subscribe. Then, if you are a small label or independent artist and your music is wonderful, send it to me and to her. I'm telling you, if there's places that your music needs to be played, I'm just saying. You can send it to CelticRain777@gmail.com. You can also send it to CelticNationsMagazine.com. There's an email on there. You can go and figure that one out. I will definitely get that for you guys. I'll put it in the comments. Also, you are listening to the Celtic Rain Radio Show right here on YouTube and very soon on Celtic Nations Radio. Here we are for you every Tuesday from 9 until 11 p.m. Eastern Time. We love you and we thank you, everyone, so very much. And bye.